Welcome to Madison, Wisconsin.
A pleasant good evening from Madtown tonight, where we bring you a matchup of two of the most informed teams in USL League One. It is Ford Madison hosting Chattanooga Red Wolves, and tonight's match is presented by Dairyland Insurance. We say hello and welcome for Bree Stevens Field. Sam Goldfarb, thrilled to bring you all of the action in this long-standing League One fixture. And now it's time to take a look at our standings presented by Dairyland Insurance. A pair of sides that have caught fire and now sit in the top 8. Ford Madison unbeaten in their last 6 league matches. They're within touching distance of the top 4. Meanwhile, Chattanooga, 6 wins in the last 7 league games to take them into the top 8. And this is a fixture that dates back to the league's inaugural season, and it is one that has been nip and tuck the entire way. Ford Madison, a slight edge in the series history in USL League One play, but what's important to note is 5 of those 6 wins for the Mingos coming at Bree Stevens Field. They'll be hoping to continue that red-hot form at home against Chattanooga and get the job done once again. And consequently, perhaps maybe a little coincidentally, that elite home form has been the story of the season for Ford Madison, a team that is one of just 3 sides in USL League One that is unbeaten on home soil, 5 wins and a draw in their previous 6 fixtures at Bree Stevens Field, and 19 goals in that span. This run of fixtures at home has coincided with this winning run as well as this uptick in goal scoring. We'll see if they can continue all of this against one of the best defenses in the division. A big part of the recent success going forward has been Ryan Carmichael, someone who has managed 6 goal contributions in the last 6 matches and now sits joint atop the Ford Madison squad in goals on the season. He's a player that Matt Glazer raves about his IQ, his positioning, and that has manifested itself in a number of tallies going forward. On the opposite end of things for Chattanooga Red Wolves, kind of a tale of 2 teams. At home, they are a fearsome outfit. 6 wins from 8 games, but away from home, teams can get at them. None of their 5 clean sheets coming away from the comfortable confines of CHI Memorial Stadium, and what's important to note is 12 of the 17 goals goals they've conceded have come away from home. So while they are one of the better defenses in the division, Madison may feel they can get at them, especially in the early stages. Now, if Chattanooga can weather the early storm, they do have a hope of stealing a goal the other way, and Omar Hernandez would be a primary candidate to do so. 6 goals to his name. That ranks top 7 in the league in goals scored, and we know about his set-piece prowess, someone with a wand of a left foot, according to Scott McKenzie. Well, we are just about ready to get another meeting of OG League One outfits underway. Ford Madison and Chattanooga Red Wolves locking horns when we return lineups and kickoff.
Welcome to Madison, Wisconsin, home of Just Coffee, a worker cooperative roasting fresh, quality, 100% fair trade coffee for over 20 years. We work with farmers from grower co-ops all over the world to support their communities as well as ours. Experience the fair trade difference yourself. Just Coffee. We do justice from the grounds up.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget. And 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
Kick your excitement into high gear with the Nissan Kicks. Zimbrick Nissan. Find more kicks to choose from. Zimbrick Nissan. From people who know kicks inside and out. Zimbrick Nissan at the best kicks price. Zimbrick Nissan. Save more and shop more selection at Zimbrick Nissan, Madison's favorite Nissan dealer. Get a Kicks with Nissan Safety Shield 360 and intelligent all-wheel drive. At Zimbrick Eastside off High Crossing. Best of Madison and People's Choice winner 2024.
And we welcome you back to Bree Stevens Field, where we get set for this battle of clubs that date back to the league's inaugural season. Ford Madison hosting Chattanooga Red Wolves in the first of 2 meetings this season, and tonight's match is presented by Dairyland Insurance. It's now time for our starting lineups, and for Matt Glazer, he makes 4 changes from the dominant victory over FC Naples at the weekend. Stephen Nenor returns up front. He's partnered by Josh Bolma and Ryan Carmichael. The big change comes in defense, though. Jalen Shannon, a rare start in the heart of defense. On the opposite end of things, the classic 4-4-2 setup for Scott McKenzie's group. He makes 2 changes from what was a hard-fought 1-0 victory over the defending champions at the weekend. Grayson Mercer is one of those alterations. He moves up top. It is the usual center midfield pairing of Wynand Wessels and Angelo Kelly with Matt Acosta out. Just about ready to get everything underway in a battle of 2 of the hottest teams in USL League One. Ford Madison, it's 5 consecutive victories in all competitions. Chattanooga Red Wolves, they've won 7 of 9 dating back to the end of May. We are underway here in Madison. Something has to give. We will see if one of these 2 sides can end the night with a valuable 3 points. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action here from Bree Stevens Field. We thank you for spending your Wednesday night with us. It is 2 red-hot sides, and when you look at their form, it is form that trounces anyone else in the division. Squads that went through their ups and downs in the early portion of the campaign, but since spring turned to summer, their form has gone from lukewarm to sweltering. talking to Matt Glazer this week, he mentioned how the Naples performance wasn't necessarily reminiscent of past displays in the sense that they didn't create as many clear-cut chances, but he was very pleased with how efficient they were in the final third. And that's been a major story for both of these sides entering the match tonight. The two teams rank 1 and 2 respectively in the league in conversion rate. And Forward Madison flashed that. 3 goals from 4 shots on frame on Saturday in a game where they jumped out in front around the half-hour mark and managed to weather a slight hiccup in the dying embers of the match and polished it off with that Ryan Carmichael free kick. All in all, he was pleased with the display. Maybe not their best on paper, but it more than did the job against the Naples side that is still desperate for points. Oscar Touré, who's played a big part in this winning run, best known, of course, for that brace against Richmond Kickers about 10 days ago. Cagnane, fixture at wing back. It's a classic 3-back setup for Matt Glazer. It's been the common theme in his 5 years at the helm of this Forward Madison group. It's a team that this year, though, the difference is they don't necessarily need 60% of the ball to score multiple goals and win matches. They break teams down in a number of different manners and makes them a difficult entity to plan for. As this is snatched back upfield by Cagnane. Runs into a thicket of maroon kids. Liam Bila. He's never shy about getting forward, and he does so here for Chattanooga. Runs right into Ramon Torres. Bentley, League One veteran in his own right, plays this forward to Aaron Lombardi, who's been deployed in a much more advanced role the last month and a half than he's used to. More of a natural wing back or left back, has since been converted into a wide midfielder or a forward in this 4-4-2 setup for Scott McKenzie. This is a side that remains attuned to the same principles they sported a year ago. The formation has changed, though. Scott McKenzie has mentioned how this year's squad suits a 4-4-2 setup better. It allows them to maintain their defensive organization. With the loss of Declan Waters, they lose a center back that could occupy a 3. So there has been a shift in the way they set up. The same out-of-possession principles, the obdurate defensive trends do remain the case. Starting to find their collective identity over these last 9 games across all competitions. One that has seen them win 7 games, we should say. Well, fans, it is now time for tonight's injury report presented by UW Health Sports Medicine. Neither team is whole, and it's a common trend for this year as a whole. Forward Madison still without the services of Captain Derek Gebhard. Their all-time leading goal scorer is out. Meanwhile, for Chattanooga, while they are getting healthier, no Matt Acosta, and then, of course, the Walefi and Harry Jolly injuries are a little longer term. All in all, it is a struggle, but they are able to fill the bench, which is an upgrade from a few weeks prior, according to Scott McKenzie. Talking to Scott McKenzie this week, he's mentioned that a big big reason for this run of wins that has seen them win 6 of their last 7 league games has been due to the fact that they just have a consistency in their fixture slate now. Early in the year, played quite sporadically, had few opportunities to establish cohesion as a unit or drill the consistent principles he wanted to drill in a game-like setting from week to week. And now that they're playing more multi-match weeks over the course of the last month or so, it feels that that's starting to come together. As a result, they look more like the team that was in the Players' Shield race around this time a season ago. Touré, the Canadian. Wait on the same wavelength. That's Josh Bolma there. And it rolls back to Jason Smith. 23-year-old who has been Scott McKenzie's preferred option since joining the club last January. He was signed a year ago. Scott McKenzie said to him, "I'm going to let you play through your mistakes at 22 years of age." He has cut down on those errors since. As Carmichael strolls forward and slips it in, a Ryan Carmichael who drives it into the back of the net. A flying start for Madison, and the goals continue to flow in Madtown. 1-0. Well, they've picked Chattanooga apart like a knife through butter, and Ryan Carmichael's red-hot streak in front of goal continues. It's just turned over cheaply here, and Kevin Carmichael just continues roaming forward and manages to delete multiple defenders before playing a really well-weighted ball right into the path of Ryan Carmichael. It's Carmichael to Carmichael, and it's Madison in front with a sweeping move. Ryan Carmichael, someone in flying form at the moment. Make that goal contributions in 7 of the last 8 across all competitions. And now 5 goals in the last 3 matches in 7 minutes. Opens the scoring inside the opening 10, and they've caught Chattanooga flat-footed at the worst possible time for the Red Wolves. 1-0 to forward Madison. For Chattanooga, those first 15 minutes, a bugaboo. Now 9 of the 18 goals they've conceded in league play this season occurring in the opening quarter of an hour. And they've been undone once again here. After keeping a clean sheet at the weekend and weathering the early storm against One Knox, that similar match script will not unfold here tonight. Well, fans, that goal was brought to you by Lexus. 1-0 to forward Madison, courtesy of Ryan Carmichael on 7 minutes. Someone who's just been banging in goals for fun adds yet another to his ledger. Bolma. Now the question is, can Madison catch a shell-shocked Red Wolf side out once more? This definitely throws a wrench in things for Chattanooga. This is a side that prides itself on its defensive solidity. It also prides itself on its ability to play without the ball and then strike when teams are at their most comfortable. Now they may have to throw more numbers at it as Kanyane's cross comes in, and it's fielded well by Wessels. Bentley. It's a long ball-oriented team. It's not one known for its extended periods of possession. And while they have shown a capacity to play from behind on numerous occasions under Scott McKenzie, it is far from the ideal set of things with the way they approach matches. Here is Kevin Carmichael, who supplied the opener moments ago. Ryan Carmichael. Forward for Stephen Inorgianfi. Fans, it's time for tonight's keys to the match, which are presented by the Burish Group at UBS. For Madison, remaining organized in possession key. This is a Chattanooga side that prides itself on the counterattack. And while for Chattanooga, they haven't exactly achieved that early key. They have not weathered the early storm. They've conceded now a 9th goal in the opening 15 minutes. And they may be under it again here. Torres switches the play sensationally to Kanyane. Toure. Balls for Kanyane. First time cross knocked out of play for the match's first corner. Canopy Wealth Management is donating $50 to Forward Madison FC's mini pitch fundraising project for each home corner kick taken by FMFC. This Forward Madison side, the best set piece team in the league by a country mile. They lead the league with 12 goals from set pieces, and they're especially potent on corners, a league high 9 goals from corner kicks. So this is where Chattanooga must watch themselves. is Ramon Torres who stands over it. In-swinger. All the way to Shannon at the back post, and can't quite hit the heights they've hit previously on corners. Well, fans, this message is brought to you by TrueStage. TrueStage offers insurance and financial services built to support life's many stages, whether it's protecting today, planning for tomorrow, or preparing for what's ahead. TrueStage helps people move forward with confidence. Learn more about insurance and financial solutions designed for real life at TrueStage.com. For those just joining us, it's been blink and you'll miss it thus far. Forward Madison taking the lead through Ryan Carmichael on 7 minutes. And a team that has shown a capacity to strike early does so again, this time against one of the more obdurate backlines in the league. Chattanooga must grow into this as Wessel sprays it forward. And Iambila races in behind. Now cuts it across, and it's headed out for the Red Wolves' first corner of the evening. Those are the moments where they can hit you. Built on their long balls and counter-attacking prowess, and Iambila found himself in a dangerous spot there. Let's see what Chattanooga can conjure from their first set piece. It is Wessels, the Gardner-Webb product, who stands over this. Joint second in the league in set-piece goals, Chattanooga, so they have a prowess from these as well. The in-swinger, and it's knocked in! Well, Chattanooga flashes that set-piece prowess, and they are level, 1-1. Make it a 9th goal off set pieces, and Chattanooga with a hard-fought retort. It appears Toby Adewole got the final touch. It is a well-placed delivery here from Wessels, and it's just bashed home perfectly. And it does appear Adewole got the final touch. Just right into his path, and he knocks it beyond JT Harms. There's no chance at keeping that out. And just like that, we're all square. Well, how about this for an opening 15 minutes? Chattanooga picked apart, and they find a retort from what appears to be a very unlikely producer. Toby Adewole currently receiving the plaudits, the 30-year-old, as a pair of Madison players are being tended to. Matt Glazer is incensed that a foul was not given there. But as of now, a third league goal for Adewole, the 30-year-old who's been a key fixture in the USL pyramid throughout his career, and he's officially credited with his third goal of the season as the Red Wolves are level. And now there still is a Madison player prone on the deck. This is a point of concern for the Mengos, a squad that already is dealing with their fair share of injury troubles, with multi-league goal scorer Derek Gebhardt still sidelined. Plenty for Matt Glazer to think about in that opening quarter of an hour. Side striking fast, the ultimate high as the flock erupted. And then just before the quarter hour mark, Toby Adewole pegging them back. He still is incensed that a foul was not given for the contact on what appears to be Kerfala Toure. And now it's definitely something that Madison may have to monitor. Get another look here. Really terrific delivery, and Adewole just bashes it on the goalkeeper. Is not Toure. It appeared Carmichael and Stephen Inorgianfi went down. It's now a question of who is still prone on the deck. Well, there is your look at Matt Glazer. His 5th year at the helm of Forward Madison. Someone who has guided them back to prominence in his time. Back-to-back playoff berths in 2023 and 2024, ending what was a 4-year playoff drought. In 2024, reaching the USL League One semifinals, a spot kick away from reaching their first ever USL League One final. Last season, a bit more of a regression, a team that missed the postseason after falling 5-1 on the final day to their sworn rivals Richmond Kickers. And so they overhauled the entire squad this offseason, returned just one regular starter in Derek Gebhardt, and they brought in a number of players who have gelled together very well. It's a team that is a product of its collective rather than any individual standout player. And it has worked, to their credit. Now, a team that sits inside the top 8, and as we mentioned off the top, within striking distance of the top 4, should they win tonight, with multiple matches in hand on a lot of the teams above them. It's been an experiment, but it's been a very successful one in the way they have retooled this squad. So it is Jelani Forbes who is the man down. He was amidst the chaos of Kerfala Toure, Stephen Inor, and Kevin Carmichael. Here's a point of concern for the new addition to this Forward Madison group, Jelani Forbes, joining from Las Vegas Lights on June 30th. It appears his night will come to a premature conclusion. Someone who's Glazer has spoke very highly of in his limited time with Forward Madison. He's best known for his efforts as an outside back on the left side, be it as a fullback or wingback. But since joining the club, he's been asked to play a right wingback role, which doesn't necessarily suit his strong foot. But Matt Glazer says he has adjusted to that well and has taken on the new role without a hitch. And so this is definitely an unfortunate development for Forward Madison. It appears Eddie Munjoma will be the man to replace him in what would be a relatively like-for-like swap at right wing back. Someone with multiple years of championship experience with Phoenix Rising, as well as Tampa Bay Rowdies. Send your thoughts out to Jelani Forbes, because Matt Glazer seemed convinced he would play a big role toward the end of the season. Well, it's been an eventful opening 20 minutes now, and get your look at the two difference-making moments. The opener, it is a Carmichael to Carmichael connection. They win it back in the press, and Carmichael just continues his run forward here. Ramon Torres does well to lay it off to him, and then he drives it perfectly into the path of Ryan Carmichael, and this is an elite forwards finish. Has Jason Smith bearing down on him and just tucks it in the bottom left corner. Very well worked from the Mingos to snatch the early advantage on 7 minutes. And it looked like it would be a party in Madison, but 7 minutes later, Chattanooga would have a retort. They flash their ability on set pieces, and Toby Adewole clatters it into the top left corner. His 3rd league goal of the year to power the Red Wolves level, and that is where we find ourselves through the opening 20 minutes of play. Carmichael in the 7th, Adewole in the 14th, and still an injury concern for Jelani Forbes, who is being tended to by the physios as we speak. Some more opportunity for Eddie Munjoma to lock down that starting right wing back spot. Someone who he himself dealt with some injury troubles a year ago. Joined Forward Madison on what was a 25-day contract after spending the previous 2 years in USL Championship, but then suffered an ACL tear just a month into last season. Worked hard to get himself back on the football pitch and back to match fitness, and now has reclaimed his starting role as he looks to navigate back up the American soccer pyramid. He will be asked to play a much more sizable role tonight than he would have thought coming in. Those minutes are going to pick up thick and fast for him, as he still waits for the signal to enter the fray. So Jelani Forbes will exit. We send our thoughts his way. Someone with tremendous quality that has impressed the coaching staff. I'll just be hoping that we can return at a later date. So Forbes out, Winjoma on. That is the adjustment that Madison is thrust into far earlier than they would have hoped. So we said definitely a somber moment for the Madison faithful as Forbes exits. Joma with a chance to make an impact as he has done throughout the year. That substitution is presented by Festival Foods. After a stoppage that lasted over 8 minutes, we are back underway here from Breese-Stevens Field. It is a first half that will carry long beyond the initial 45, you'd have to figure. Mercer charges beyond Shannon. It's a sliding tackle from Krafala Toure, which does the job. For those that have just joined us from Madison, we welcome you to Breese-Stevens Field. Sam Goldfarb taking you through this one. Now midway through the opening 45, and I'll square an early opener from Ryan Carmichael on 7 minutes, and then 7 minutes later, Toby Adewole from a corner. The two most informed teams in the league currently playing to a deadlock as this long throw comes in from Omar Hernandez. It's headed clear only as far as Angelo Kelly. Hernandez once more. Toure first to it. The Mingo mascot's a busy lad so far. Watch this long throw sail in. Bentley taps it back. Not always rising though from Yanis Leilin. Kevin Carmichael. It's his first League One assist of his career. And he supplied Ryan Carmichael's opener, someone with MLS Next Pro experience in the past. Now Harms looking to build out of the bag. Toure. Castro. Carved out a regular role alongside Ramon Torres in the heart of the park. Carmichael switches it. Comes out wide to Geni Kanyane. Castro. He pings this wide. Winjoma, his first touch off the bench. Carmichael charging ahead. Flashing ball. Headed right away, and it is yet another Canopy Wealth Management corner kick for Madison. And another chance to test the mettle of Chattanooga's set-piece defending. It is a Chattanooga side that has only conceded 1 goal from a corner kick all season. So they are known for reasonably solid set-piece defending. Geni Kanyane will test that theory here, though. In-swinger to the back post, but far too tight on Jason Smith, who has no real issues. It's been an interesting year for Grayson Mercer. He's tipped to play a big role up front, especially in this 4-4-2 system. But this is only his sixth start of the year after cracking the 11 in the first 4 league games of the season. Scott McKenzie's been encouraging him to provide more final product. Raves about his raw size at 6'2", his physicality. He's a handful for any opposing center back. The issue's been turning that into actual production. Just 2 goals to his name since joining the club a season ago, albeit it has been a tenure affected by injury. Hoping that in the second half of this season he can start to turn those raw tools into raw production. Munjoma to the byline. Mandela touches it out of play. Final touch, seemingly, has gone off of Munjoma. Fans, watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN, the nation's leading Spanish-language sports network. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Tick towards the half-hour mark. It's been a stop-start affair thus far. 2 goals inside the opening 15, a long injury pause, and now both sides looking to reestablish their rhythm. Mercer clattered into from behind there by what appears to be Jalen Shannon. Take a look at our instant replay presented by Dairyland Insurance. Just see him charge right into the back of Mercer. A slight shove in it, which is what draw Igor Bisch's attention. Lombardi. Now Bentley. Knocked along the Leline. Crosses it in. It's headed away by Shannon. Nodded along by Angelo Kelly towards Lombardi. In his 3rd stint with Chattanooga. Omar Hernandez. It's a dipping service. Bentley into the sky. Shannon gets there first. Ramon Torres wrestled to the deck by Yanis Leilid. This is not a fixture. That will be for those that enjoy free-flowing, contact-free football. This is going to be a fixture for those that enjoy the rough and tumble bar fights. Chattanooga, of course, known for making every match they play physical, and Madison does not shy away from that sort of affair. Could lead to a contentious one, especially as we head into the dying embers of the second half. This scoreline remains narrowly contested. Toure. Beaumont. Keeps this in play well, but Leilin tracks back effectively. Beaumont once more. Only as far as Shannon. And now Kanyane. His cross. Another corner for Madison. Their 3rd Canopy Wealth Management corner kick of the opening half hour.
Corner kicks this season are sponsored by Canopy Wealth Management.
More opportunity for Ramon Torres. See if they can return the favor to a Chattanooga side that has already caught them out from a set piece tonight. In-swinger. Doesn't get as high in the air as he would have hoped, and appeals for handball ignored by Igor Bisch. Castro's ball in. Too tight on Smith. Perhaps now a chance to break the other way. Angelo Kelly charging ahead and covering every blade of grass. Mercer waiting support. Joma does very well defensively. There was an appeal for handball here. Looked half-hearted. It's an awkwardly delivered ball. Adewole's first to it. It doesn't appear it hit his hand in an unnatural spot. Although anytime the arms are flailing and you see it get near the arm, the fans are going to go berserk. was the case there. Throw here for Omar Hernandez. Into the mix. Mercer, he's shoved over in the area. This contact that doesn't bother Igor Bish. Hernandez once again. This cross far better. It's dangerous, and it's headed in. Bentley wheels away in celebration, and Chattanooga have turned it around. The flying start neutralized, and Bentley adding Chattanooga's second. It is Omar Hernandez's wand of a left foot coming up at the perfect moment. It's a dipping ball, and Bentley just beats Kerfala Toure to it. Plenty of bend, brilliant shape. Bentley, a free header, and there is no chance for JT Harms. And after falling behind early, Chattanooga pulls themselves in front well before intermission. Matt Bentley's been something of a proven goal scorer in this league, dating back to his time with Richmond Kickers. But since signing for Chattanooga last winter, the goals have come thick and fast. 10 across all competitions a year ago. That's his 5th league tally of the season here in 2026, despite a slower start to the campaign. He pops up when Chattanooga needs him, and the Red Wolves have flipped the script just beyond the half-hour mark. Matt Bentley boasts tremendous quality, a first-team All-American at Missouri State, drafted by Minnesota United in the 2020 MLS Super Draft. Could never quite put it together on the MLS scene, but made a name for himself in Richmond. As this ball comes in from Kanyane, and he's headed behind for what will be yet another Madison corner. Matt Bentley, wherever he's gone, wherever he's had the opportunity to play, has made an impact. He's perhaps been most impactful in Chattanooga colors. Another Canopy Wealth Management corner kick for Madison. Kenny Kanyane, his second bite at the apple. Toward the back post, headed into the mix. Sat kindly for Shannon, and ultimately fell to Lombardi's feet. Clearly as far as Castro. He will arc it back in. Carmichael, a bicycle kick attempt, falls for an Orgianfi. Kevin Carmichael falls again. Bulma backheel to Toure, who drives it home. The set piece savant strikes for Madison, and we are all level again. Chaos in the opening 35 minutes, and Madison claws their way level. The follow-up from the corner, it's just headed on. This was audacious from Kevin Carmichael, who then has a crack. Bulma, the wherewithal to lay it back to Toure, who has a free run at it and just puts enough power on it to take it beyond Jason Smith. Pure chaos. Kerfala Toure, the beneficiary, and Ford Madison back even. Well, he bagged the brace in the Henny Derby, and both goals came from corners, directly from corners, against Richmond Kickers a couple weeks ago. 2 weeks later, on the ensuing chaos following a corner, he logs his 4th league goal of the campaign. He is fashioning himself a real threat on dead ball restarts. That goal presented by Alexis, and it is pure chaos in the opening half hour and change in Madison. Ramon Torres hunting further carnage. Arced behind for yet another corner, and Kerfala Toure may have another bite at things here.
All corner kicks this season are sponsored by Canopy Wealth Management.
Another Canopy Wealth Management corner kick. Moments earlier, Kerfala Toure finding the equalizer. A match in which Madison struck first, conceded twice, and has now find their way back even. Geni Kanyane played in the initial ball that ultimately created the sequence that mounted to the equalizer. And another in-swinger, headed away at the back post this time. Castro never hit it cleanly. Angelo Kelly wrestled off it by Torres. Well, fans, smart design, everyday comfort, fun to drive at a price that makes sense at Zimbrick Volkswagen in Middleton. For those that have just flipped this match on, it is chaos on a Wednesday night in USL League One. 4 goals in the opening 35 minutes. The opener from Ryan Carmichael after Kevin Carmichael picked him out on 7 minutes. Then Toby Adewole in the 14th and Matt Bentley on the 32nd. Both from whipped balls to the back post to pull Chattanooga in front. And moments ago, Kerfala Toure on the chaos following a corner of Madison's zone, striking for the Mingos to pull Madison back even. It has been that type of back and forth League One classic that we all know and love. And there is still over 50 minutes left to be played in this. Kevin Carmichael. Kanyane. Carmichael on the overlap. A floated ball in. It was towards an Orgianfi who's now clutching his head. He won it back cleanly according to our referee. Kevin Carmichael. Kanyane. Too far for Eddie Linjoma. Turned over here. Ryan Carmichael! Just wide. Real chance here. Madison, their press paying dividends. And Bolma just knocks it along to Ryan Carmichael, who can't quite pick out the bottom right corner. On the current form he's in, you would have fancied him to hit the target. Instead, just wide. Well, fans, Bayer Insurance is a proud sponsor of Forward Madison, and it's based in Madison. It's provided protection and peace of mind to businesses and individuals throughout the state of Wisconsin since 1928. And it's all starting to boil over. A touch here at Breeze Stevens Field. Historic venue that dates back to the 1920s itself. From Wisconsin State Capitol building. You opened in 1926 and is one of the proud crown jewels of downtown Madison. It's hosted better fan bases in the division since Forward Madison's inception in 2019. Madison doesn't deal with this well, and Bentley had an angle that was immediately closed down by Geni Kanyane. Carmichael. Options ahead. Well weighted. Not enough on the ball forward there, though. Here's Ian Bila for Chattanooga. It's become an end-to-end affair. The challenges coming in have been pretty thick and fast. Final 5 minutes of the initial 45, but given the long stoppage for an injury timeout, we should be in for a longer first half. That should eclipse 50 minutes and go well beyond. It's been an opening 40 minutes. It's captivated the attention of everyone in attendance. Toure, the most recent goal scorer for Madison. Carmichael blasts this ahead towards an Orgianfe, who's racing towards it. It's good defending there from Eric Kinsner to prevent him from getting on the end of it. Toure taking the space. Gonna roll it along to Josh Bolma. When you looked at this matchup on paper, this scoreline, as we tick towards intermission, probably isn't what you would expect. These two teams, two of the best defensive entities in USL League One. Chattanooga entered the night joint second in the league with just 17 goals allowed. Fort Madison has sported one of the best defenses in the league. The league low, 15 goals conceded in as many league matches entering the night. When you look at their XGA, it's also the lowest in the league. They were overperforming their XGA by 0.38, despite still conceding the least amount of goals in the division. Been lapses both ways at the back, and it's made for entertaining viewing, especially for neutrals. I'm sure it's the type of first half, though, that will give Scott McKenzie and Matt Glazer headaches. Another set piece here for the Mingos. Ramon Torres and Kenny Kanyane in the immediate vicinity. Torres drives it in, and it's headed home! Who else but Ryan Carmichael? And Madison now flips it back in their favor. It is goals galore in Madtown, and it's all gone mad. A brace for Ryan Carmichael in the first half, and Madison from 2-1 down to 3-2 up. A towering header, a free header. It is not the best defending from Chattanooga, and they pay the dearest of prices. 3-2 Mingos. And the flock is enjoying every second of this. 7 goals on the season now for Ryan Carmichael. It's now his second brace in a little over 2 weeks. He bagged 2 in the Prince Cup finale against Union Omaha, and he now has 2 in the first half here. And someone who has picked up the goal scoring considerably in the last month continues to do so. In fact, he may hit new heights tonight. Torres now turns it over, and Kelly drives it goalward, but that is one of the few comfortable saves a goalkeeper has been able to make tonight. It just goes right to JT Harms. It's now time for our stoppage time presented by the Just Coffee Cooperative. 9 minutes will separate us from intermission in a first half that has featured 5 goals. An end-to-end thriller thus far. And you would not rule out a 6th. Leylene Wessels, he gives it away. Carmichael, Kevin Carmichael, that is. It's important to specify now because both seem intent on etching their names amongst the goal involvements. Kevin Carmichael again. He supplied Ryan Carmichael's first. Castro manages to keep this in play. Floated forward towards Anor Giamfi. Wessels. Lombardi racing in behind. The flag stays down. Omar Hernandez rushing forward to join him. And that is a cross that will not live in his personal Hall of Fame. Just comes off his boot wrong. It's a moment Owen Lombardi will not want to rewatch. Fans, it's winning time presented by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Scan the QR code on your screen or visit FordMadisonFC.com/winning-time for your chance to win your favorite Ford Madison FC kit, $100 in rewards play, and $50 in food and beverage credit redeemable at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. One lucky winner will be chosen on the Monday following tonight's match. I tell you what, it has been an affair reminiscent of a video game match, because 5 goals in the opening 45 minutes. Everyone's finishing has been top drawer this evening. It's the type of match where everyone's sliders are maxed out, at least in the attacking third. Omar Hernandez left down on the deck after that challenge. There's a free kick for the Red Wolves. It's just a 50-50 ball here. Andy Wanjoma, they've got a piece of Omar Hernandez's left leg. Seems no worse for wear, though. What can Chattanooga produce here? Already one tally from a set piece thus far. And Omar Hernandez, who just await Igor Bich's signal to take. Hernandez, Lean, training ground routine this. It's a dipping cross, not one with enough steam. As far as Wine and Wessels, though. Midway through the added 9 minutes. His arc to the back posts, and this time JT Harms off his line in time. He looks long. Anor Giamfi chasing. Bila there first, though. But turned over. Anor Giamfi, Castro, Bulma. And Carmichael already on a hat trick. Picks out Bulma well. Bulma. It's a necessary intervention from Kinsner, and another Canopy Wealth Management corner kick.
Forward Madison. Every corner kick this season is sponsored by Canopy Wealth Management.
Kenny Kanyane has produced a number of excellent deliveries from these scenarios already. Gets another crack before we head towards halftime. Does Madison have a fourth in their locker? In swinger, punched away by Smith. Falls for Bulma. Ryan Carmichael. Heavy touch that takes it right to Wine and Wessels. And it will be another Canopy Wealth Management corner kick, somewhat clumsily done there by Wessels.
Corner kick, Forward Madison. All corner kicks are sponsored by
One more Canopy Wealth Management corner kick for Kenny Kanyane. And the count slowly climbing. to the heart of the area and just headed wide. It was a real chance for a fourth. Kevin Carmichael was lingering, and it just skimmed off his head. Another really quality delivery. It evades Jason Smith here as he comes to punch away. And if Carmichael catches this more flush, it may very well be 4-2. Perhaps Chattanooga dodging a bullet. Going two behind, especially away from home. Be a difficult set of circumstances to overcome. And they're struggling to play out of this press. Munjoma. Torres. Kanyane. Ryan Carmichael looking for an angle. Carmichael curling it. Just headed wide by Eddie Munjoma. More strong interplay and more problems for Chattanooga as they look to build out. The only success they've had so far is going direct. The only time they've been able to break lines reliably has been when they've won set pieces. Even against the defending champions on Saturday night in One Knoxville, they faced a number of chances that visitors just didn't take in the Smoky Mountain Smackdown. Dennis Kurchenkov in particular, 3 chances at 0-0 that went by the wayside. On a different night, Red Wolves could have found themselves 3-0 down. Instead, they weathered the storm and found the winner through Josh Ramos 15 minutes from full time. But it was far from a well-executed performance. Even Scott McKenzie admitted he felt it was so-so. He was pleased with the result. Unfortunately for them, the theme of conceding too many unforced opportunities has carried over to tonight, and Madison has been far more ruthless. It is a corner now for Chattanooga as we head into the final minute of the added 9. Ryan Wessels once more over it. He arcs it to the back post. Almost came off his line and got just enough on it. There were a number of maroon shirts in the vicinity there. Run it right back one more time, this time from the opposite flank. It's Omar Hernandez now. His first chance at an in-swinging corner. It's dipping into the mix. Mercer got a piece, but no trouble for Harms. And that may finally take us into the dressing room after a first half that had everything. Time for one further attack. There is not. And that draws a madness-laden first half to its conclusion. 5 goals in the opening 45 minutes and change, and Ryan Carmichael producing 2 of them. Ford Madison, a narrow 3-2 cushion in a match that has had every twist and turn in the opening 45 minutes. Well, at intermission, it is Ford Madison with the narrow advantage. Ryan Carmichael, the standout. Matt Bentley found his name on the score sheet, as did Toby Adewole, to power Chattanooga in front after falling behind, but ultimately they flipped it back in their favor. Ford Madison, after 45 minutes, leads by a narrow 3-2 margin. We'll take a quick breather when we return a look around USL League One. Stick with us.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget. And 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
Kick your excitement into high gear with the Nissan Kicks. Zimbrick Nissan. Find more kicks to choose from. Zimbrick Nissan. From people who know kicks inside and out. Zimbrick Nissan at the best kicks price. Zimbrick Nissan. Save more and shop more selection at Zimbrick Nissan, Madison's favorite Nissan dealer. Get it kicked with Nissan Safety Shield 360 and intelligent all-wheel drive. At Zimbrick Eastside off High Crossing. Best of Madison and People's Choice winner 2024.
Welcome back to Madison, where halftime is presented by the Just Coffee Cooperative. And what a first half it was from Breese Stevens Field. Forward Madison with a 3-2 cushion in one of the more fun first halves you'll see all year in USL League One. And as we continue our look around the USL, it's time to get a look at the future of the USL. A number of stadiums breaking ground and a number of teams getting set to join the fold in the coming years.
They are more than shiny and new. The latest collection of brand new stadiums in USL are a commitment to communities. Fans in Boise have set attendance records. Finishing touches greet the fans in Fort Wayne weekly. In Greenville, Triumph fans are in love with their permanent new home. These projects take time and patience, but nothing gets a community excited like seeing a shovel in the ground. Detroit City of the USL Championship has gone from dreams to renderings to construction. At its recent groundbreaking in Southwest Detroit, Alumni Phi Stadium became a vision for the very near future.
We've been incredibly fortunate to create something that's way bigger than us, and that we have the great fortune of being stewards of it. And the stadium represents really an investment in that community, an investment in this neighborhood, a tremendous investment in the city, and something that will be around for generations to come.
With this stadium, the club is investing in its future and demonstrating a long-term commitment to building a sustainable, community-driven club. I'm excited for what the future holds for Detroit City. I can't wait to be back here for the opening match in 2028. And I want to say congratulations to the fans, supporters, ownership group, and the entire community that made this amazing new home possible.
At 15,000 seats, Alumni Phi raises the bar for Detroit City. Soon there will be more groundbreakings and sounds of stadium construction as USL gets closer to the launch of Premier.
Unreal. A jaw-dropping leveler. Stoppage time drop. Wonderful finish in the USL.
Prinks tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks tires will be there for the long haul.
Wilson scores! Finally a breakthrough for Louisville City!
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
I've always been a storyteller. I capture those beautiful moments, things other people miss. My health took an unexpected turn, but my care team put my needs in focus. Designing solutions to support my ambitions. Now that's just a footnote in my journey. A small part of a story that's still being written. UW Health, remarkable.
Welcome back to Breese Stevens Field. We're at halftime. It is a crazy one. Forward Madison, a 3-2 lead in a match that has had every twist and turn. And now it's time to get a look at the matches ahead for both of these clubs, starting with Forward Madison's upcoming schedule presented by Dairyland Insurance. They host Westchester at the weekend to cap off the only other match of the night, presented by DCRA. Well, we will take another breather here from Madison, where that scoreline is the same as the Greenville-Boise scoreline, but it's after a half of action. We've got a whole nother 45 minutes to come after the break. Stick with us. A busy night in League One continues.
It is halftime in League One. Time for the headlines this week. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio. Entering this week, no one wants to face Chattanooga Red Wolves. After back-to-back wins over AV Alta and Charlotte Independence, Chattanooga posted a 1-0 victory over 1 Knox. The Red Wolves have won 3 straight home matches against 1 Knox in all competitions. Spokane Velocity won 2 matches last week with clutch performances off the bench. Substitutes scored 5 of 6 second-half goals, led by Siobhan John Brown's brace in a 3-1 come-from-behind victory against Fort Wayne. Speaking of goals, Forward Madison has scored 15 of them over the club's last 5 matches. That has helped the Mingos post a 5-0-1 record over their last 6 League One matches. And those Cow Kits, Forward is 4-0-1 in its, quote, utterly Wisconsin kits. A pair of upcoming national spotlight games. Richmond Kickers host New York Cosmos on Wednesday, August 5th. Monterey Bay hosts New Mexico United next Saturday, the 8th. Both matches are on CBS Sports Network. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
Welcome to Madison's Up.
TrueStage aspires to be the most trusted insurance and financial services provider. For more than 90 years, our work has been guided by the philosophy of people helping people. Today, we help protect more than 39 million customers through every stage of their financial lives. Our suite of protection solutions is designed to grow over the long term, and we're continually evolving to serve our partners and their customers better. Together, we can create more access, more stability, and more confidence. Learn more at TrueStage.com.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget and 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
Welcome to Madison, Wisconsin, home of Just Coffee, a worker cooperative roasting fresh, quality, 100% fair trade coffee for over 20 years. We work with farmers from grower co-ops all over the world to support their communities as well as ours. Experience the fair trade difference yourself. Just Coffee. We do justice from the grounds up.
Back in Madison, where the fans are out in full force, and the fans have some creative t-shirts. That's very befitting of the Forward Madison ethos. At halftime, a 3-2 scoreline. Halftime presented by the Just Coffee Cooperative. And now it's time for our halftime highlights, presented by the Just Coffee Cooperative as well. Stand by. This will be a long one because there's 5 goals to get your hands on, and it starts after just 7 minutes. Kevin Carmichael ranging through midfield. He picks out Ryan Carmichael. The Carmichael connection unlocks Chattanooga and pushes the Mingos in front inside the opening 10. But that is not where the action finished, because Chattanooga would fire back with 2 goals of their own. 7 minutes later, off of the first Chattanooga corner of the match, Toby Adewole charges it into the top left corner, no chance for JT Harms, and just like that, the Red Wolves level. And there was more where that came from off of back post deliveries leading to tallies. On 32 minutes, Omar Hernandez flashing that patented left foot. Look at this ball. It is jaw-dropping to the back post. Matt Bentley there first. He evades the ranging grasp of Kerfala Toure to blast it beyond JT Harms. And just like that, despite having very little of the ball, in classic Chattanooga fashion, they led. But the lead would only last 3 minutes because after all of the corner kick action, the ensuing sequence, just pure chaos in the penalty area. Bulma backheels it, and it's bashed in by Kerfala Toure. It's not direct off a corner, but you can still call him a set piece savant because it came off of a sequence resulting from a corner, and Toure with a 4th goal of the year to pull Madison level. Stand by, there's one more goal to take care of, and it came 9 minutes later. Who else but Ryan Carmichael? What a set-piece delivery this is from Ramon Torres. A towering header from Carmichael to cap off his first half brace, and the Mingos take a narrow 3-2 advantage into halftime. Stand by, breathe. Those are the 5 goals. There's plenty more to come. You look at the halftime stats presented by Rhyme, and it does tell the full story. Madison on the front foot, 70% of the ball, but we all know Chattanooga functions best without the ball. There is still an edge, though, in shots and shots on target for the Mingos as well. We knew it would take a while to recap that, just given how goal-laden the first half was. But now we can finally get the second half underway. And if the first 45 is any indication, you can sit back, crack your beverage of choice, and just enjoy USL League One on this Wednesday night. Chattanooga from left to right, Madison from right to left. The 2 hottest teams in the league get it all settled over the next 45. Sam Goldfarb taking you the remainder of the way. We thank you for joining us at Breese Stevens Field. We showed you the first half of twists and turns that was. The opener from Carmichael on 7 minutes, 2 goals from Madison to power in front, and then 2 more from Madison to reclaim the lead. It sets the stage for what should be a thrilling conclusion to this one. You have to wonder what the team talk was from both managers, because we all know Chattanooga likes a cagier affair where things aren't as free-flowing. The issue has been they've been unable to take the sting out of this in any way, shape, or form. Yes, they are no stranger to not having the ball. The issue is, though, when they don't have the ball historically, they're able to manufacture more dead ball situations to account and more counters. We did not see very many of that, despite them scoring twice in the first half. Madison had full control, and you just wonder what Scott McKenzie's words of wisdom will have been at intermission. Grayson Mercer was bundled over, and he and Jalen Shannon now getting into it. We promised you that the intensity would only increase after halftime. The first physical coming together seems to keep that promise. Just some tugging both ways. Mercer ultimately gets the benefit of the doubt. Jalen Shannon seems incensed by that decision. These are the situations where Chattanooga would be best positioned to grab an equalizer, especially when you have number 7 in maroon, Omar Hernandez, standing over it. We've already seen the havoc his left foot can create. Hernandez into the mix, headed away, and the last touch came off of Ron Lombardi. Rather anticlimactic conclusion. The first half only seemed to feature free headers from set pieces. It's been an interesting match so far for JT Harms, someone who's produced a solid debut League One campaign after spending his first season of his pro career in Next Pro with North Texas SC. It's one of the many Next Pro recruits that have joined Forward Madison as part of this roster overhaul that has completely worked, at least through the opening 4 months of the season. He's been the mainstay without debate. Ken Zygmanski has not been able to get a league match all season due to the level Harms has produced. back-to-back All Big Ten second teamer at Indiana University. For Jason Smith, went through his ups and downs in college at Syracuse. He's been the steadying force between the sticks the last year and a half for Chattanooga. There is your first proper glance at Scott McKenzie. What a job he's done in his 4 seasons at the helm. Someone who took over when Chattanooga Red Wolves were in a real rough patch, mired out of the postseason hunt. In his first campaign, they left a lot to be desired. It was a roster more catered to its attacking prowess rather than its defensive solidity. So he went through a similar overhaul to the one that Madison experienced this offseason, as this is given away and ultimately Shannon picks up the pieces. But last year he overhauled the roster and built a squad that was constructed around dual winning and defensive solidity, and it worked wonders in USL League One. He started a possession-averse revolution, so to speak. His team setting the league record for lowest average possession in history, and still finding themselves in the Players' Shield chase up until the final match day of the season. This year, they got off to a slower start by their lofty standards, but as we mentioned, it's 6 wins in the last 7 league contests to climb into the top 8, and it very much resembles the Chattanooga of a year ago. Tonight's performance hasn't done that. They have rediscovered their obdurate, high-intensity identity. They've turned it into results once more. It is interesting talking to Scott McKenzie about the players he prefers on his roster, because the way he looks at it, it must be said, is unlike any other manager in the league. In fact, the primary example that comes to mind this week, talking about Angelo Kelly, who joined the club initially on a 25-day contract, as you see the foul given against Grayson Mercer there. Joined the club on a 25-day contract initially at the start of May, and ultimately, due to his sheer breadth of experience and his high work rate in midfield, earned a contract for the rest of the year. He said he likes players who are willing to give every ounce to win fixtures, and the primary examples he cited were the Cleveland Cavaliers' 2016 comeback against the Golden State Warriors and Tom Brady's 28-3 comeback against the Atlanta Falcons. Of course, those 2 events separated by mere months on the sports calendar. He says he just likes athletes, regardless of sport, that won't let their team lose. He feels Angelo Kelly fits that description. Put him in the same breath as LeBron James and Tom Brady. So that is definitely a little feather in the 33-year-old's cap. With multiple years of experience at One Knox and won the league a season ago, before ultimately joining Chattanooga in the late stages of spring. Here's Adewole. He's one of the 2 Chattanooga goal scorers tonight. Wessels. See more possession from Chattanooga in the second half. It's lofted forward to Bentley. This cross is far too tight on JT Harms. Jalen Shannon navigated that situation well. Castro. It's Eddie Manjoma, the first-time injury substitute that came on for Jelani Forbes, who was making his first League One start of the year since joining from Las Vegas Lights. Surprisingly, has fit right in. He's used to playing big minutes for this Bingos bunch. Wessels. Taking off the toes of Ryan Carmichael. Now clipped ahead to Aaron Lombardi. Was fouled by Ramon Torres. And this well within the range of Omar Hernandez to make an impact. Just with one of those patented deliveries into the box. It's a good ball here. Lombardi wisely goes down after feeling the contact from Ramon Torres. He's these are the moments where you would fancy Chattanooga to find that third tally, especially with the two they have in the midst. It will be Ryan Wessels who does the honors here, as it does favor his right boot. There's Wessels' ball. It was tight on JT Harms, but he gets there before Matt Bentley. Joma. Ryan Carmichael, he sits on a hat trick, and he sprays this wide to Anorgianfi. Has a runner in support, and Kenny Kanyane! Quality stop there from Smith. It was still knocked about. Finally, Kelly can escort out of danger. Wessels now. Down the line for Aron Lombardi. A match at breakneck pace. Omar Hernandez. Jackson Castro doing his defensive duties well. End to end, it was a real chance to make it 4. Anorgianfi takes this out of the sky well. The overlapping run from Kanyane just can't curl it outside the reach of Smith. A first promising chance for either side since the restart. And we're greeted with a long throw the other direction for Chattanooga. By Shannon. As far as Iambila. Hernandez. Pings this back into the mix. Headed on by Kinsner. Kelly. Wole was lingering. Comes out to Yanis Leline. Midway through last season. His cross. Toure away. Gianfi. Squirts wide for Carmichael, who charges ahead. Wessels had a handful of his shirt. The referee didn't notice it, evidently. And finally, they will come back to that earlier challenge. The yellow card shown to Chattanooga's number 6. He's a repeat offender here, Ryan Wessels. Thought initially they'd pull up the first break for tugging on his shirt, but finally, after he's beaten a second time by Ryan Carmichael, the referee stops the action. Yellow card, unsurprisingly brandished towards the 24-year-old midfielder. So Ryan Wessels, the first Chattanooga man in the book tonight. Torres, who's already supplied 1 goal off of a set piece from this sort of range. This time it's a training ground routine. Kanyane. Matched up with Leline. Bolma on the underlap. Bolma's cross. Did find Anorgianfi, but he couldn't redirect it. Sweeping interplay, though, for Madison. This is well worked. Kanyane does well to draw Leline out of position, and then he finds Bolma in that pocket. The issue is Anorgianfi has a defender draped all over him the entire way. Still a chance of note, though. Iambila. Hernandez. Last touch off of the Chattanooga forward. Hernandez is slow to get up. He is a true catalyst of this winning run for Chattanooga. So he just ricochets off him in the end and took the follow through from Carmichael. Ultimately is what left the after effects, but seems content to continue. Fans, this message is brought to you by TrueStage. TrueStage offers insurance and financial services built to support life's many stages. Whether it's protecting today, planning for tomorrow, or preparing for what's ahead, TrueStage helps people move forward with confidence. Learn more about insurance and financial solutions designed for real life at TrueStage.com. Just shy of the hour mark here in Madison, Wisconsin. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action in a thriller thus far at Breese Stevens Field. Ford Madison leads 3-2. Took the early advantage, fell behind, and then flipped it back on its head. Ryan Carmichael is the standout performer with a brace to his name. With the way this has unfolded, it does have the feeling there's more to come. Anor Gianfi. Castro. Underwhelming ball in. Angelo Kelly scored out of trouble. One from Lombardi. This is Omar Hernandez. Now Mercer, who's got his pocket picked by Ramon Torres, expert defending from the former Minnesota United man. Toure. So Matt Glazer says has improved in possession with his decision making. His first pro contract after finishing his college career at Florida Atlantic University in Boca Raton, Florida. We're starting to see the rewards on the attacking side of things. He's fashioned himself a set-piece expert. Torres. Madison beginning to reestablish their possessional supremacy. Ryan Carmichael on the turn and has a runner in support. He slips in a teammate. Bulma's bundled over, and the referee points to the spot. A golden chance for insurance from 12 yards. Well, Ryan Carmichael at the heart of this interplay. He times this pass brilliantly to Bulma, who's shoved down by Iambila. He's got wrong side of Iambila. There's an extension of the arm. There's no debate here. And it sets up Ryan Carmichael from 12 yards with a chance to cap off his hat trick. Would be his first professional hat trick in Madison colors. And it would continue the form of his life, the form of his career, in fact. So it is the native of Northern Ireland who stares down Jason Smith. And if he finishes this, he caps off first hat trick in Madison colors. In fact, it would be the first professional hat trick of his career as a full-time pro. Jason Smith intent on preventing that. Carmichael drives it in, top bins. A first professional hat trick in the United States for Ryan Carmichael, and Madison with insurance. What an accomplishment and what a night for the 24-year-old. Who just keeps his red-hot form going. And he took this penalty with expertise. You can't pick out the top left corner any better than this. There is no chance for Jason Smith. And it is a 3-spot on the night for Ryan Carmichael. It's the best form of his career by a country mile. It's now 8 goals on the season for Ryan Carmichael, and he just finds the back of the net for sport at this point. Madison 4, Chattanooga 2. He is an accomplished player, Ryan Carmichael, drafted in the first round, of the MLS Super Draft in 2024 by Inter Miami, and began his career in MLS Next Pro, where He did score 9 goals as a rookie. Experienced more ups and downs, though, last season with Atlanta United too. He has revitalized his career, though, and then some under Matt Glazer's tutelage. And that goal presented by Lexus is a goal that caps off Ryan Carmichael's hat trick. A career night for a player in the midst of a career campaign.
Madison substitutions in the 62nd minute. On for number 7, Joshua Bolma. Number 3, AJ Edwards. On for number 14, Steven Anor.
In the midst of all of that, Chattanooga has made a change. Pedro Hernandez replacing Grayson Mercer up top. That change presented by Festival Foods. At this point, it is kitchen sink time for Chattanooga Red Wolves. They can't afford to sit off and absorb pressure to the degree they have throughout the opening hour. They must chase this now. Otherwise, it will be forward Madison that cruises to a 6th consecutive victory in all comps and extends their lead unbeaten run to 7 matches. And as of now, if this result were to hold, they would surge up into 4th in the USL League One table with matches in hand on everyone around them. Get another look at the Dairyland instant replay here. First involvement for Pedro Hernandez, and he leaves a loose one on Geny Kanyane. There's AJ Edwards, the substitute for Madison, who picks out a teammate well. Karamoko is denied. It falls again. The chance is still on. Carmichael saved. And it's still on once more. Torres! Bar down and in. 5 stars from forward Madison. And they are putting Chattanooga to the sword tonight. Brilliant, simply brilliant. The ball from Edwards. Karamoko does well here. It's sloppy from Iambila. Karamoko knocks it along to Carmichael, who had his mindset on a 4th, and then has the wherewithal to let it run for Torres, who just knocks it off the right post. Forward Madison capitalizing on an absolute mess in the penalty area, and they add a 5th for good measure. And this result is not in doubt anymore. Ramon Torres, the beneficiary, and it is 5 for forward Madison on the evening. Ramon Torres, someone who's fashioned himself an assist specialist, added one earlier tonight on Ryan Carmichael's 2nd goal of the evening. He now pitches in his 3rd league goal of the season. And we've spoken so much about the form of Ryan Carmichael, but Ramon Torres himself, not shabby by any means. Since June 13th, has pitched in a number of goals and assists. Now Carmichael, this time drags it wide. He has a hat trick already, and the way he's playing, you'd think he's hungry for his 1st goal of the year. That goal, by the way, presented by Lexus. We've said that a number of times tonight. 5 times to be precise. And Ramon Torres, the 3rd different goal scorer for forward Madison. 3 goals off the boots of Ryan Carmichael. And then Torres and Toure pitching in for good measure. Ramon Torres had a pair of 1 goal, 1 assist masterclasses against AC Boise, as well as New York Cosmos in mid and late June. Went through a bit of a lull and then pitched in with assists against Omaha in the Pricks Tires USL Cup, and then 4 nights later in the Henny Derby throttling of Richmond Kickers. 2 matches later, he adds another goal and another assist to his name. At this point, there are so many players in career level form that it is hard to identify every single one. By the way, a triple change prior to that 5th goal. Josh Bolma exiting for AJ Edwards. In addition to that, Colin McCamey and Hakeem Karamoko enter. Those substitutions presented by Festival Foods. this point, Madison can afford to go amongst the reserves. Even on a night where they've rotated with 4 changes, they've put forth arguably their best performance of the season. In terms of goals, it absolutely is. Most goals they've scored all year. That eclipses the record they set against Richmond on July 15th, excuse me. Now a double change. Is Ian Bila and Angelo Kelly who exit for Josh Ramos and Omar Gomez. Those changes also presented by Festival Foods. Well, fans, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. That Select ball has hit the back of the net 7 times tonight. With the way this has unfolded, you'd fancy more to follow. Spoken about how this is a night for the history books for Forward Madison. This is the most goals they've scored since the first round of the 2025 US Open Cup. That came in a 5-1 victory on this very ground against Duluth FC. It's been over a year and then some since Forward Madison put 5 by any opponent, and this against the joint second best defense in the league entering the evening. It is nothing to scoff at any way you slice it. Glazer leading something of a renaissance for Forward Madison this season. The frustration of last year in which they posted the least goals in the league. They entered the night with a joint 3rd most in the division, and they'll be flirting for the top spot by the time the evening is done. What an evening and what a performance from the Mingos, and it's not even done yet. Ramos is fouled there by Edwards. Well, fans, soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. If you are just joining us, you've missed a fun one in USL League One. 5-2 to Forward Madison. At one point, we're down 2-1. They've scored 4 unanswered tallies since. 2 goals coming on opposite ends of halftime, and that whole entire sequence has featured a Ryan Carmichael hat trick, which will headline the evening. He's one of just 3 goal scorers on the night for the Mingos. When you look at the history books, it is one where they will rewrite plenty. Most recorded goals they've had in a league match. Most they've scored in over a year's time in any competition. Kanyane. The yellow card is shown. It is the substitute Josh Ramos who scored the winner on Saturday in the Smoky Mountain Smackdown victory over 1 Knoxville entering the book. What a difference 4 nights makes. Defeating the defending champs and keeping a clean sheet, then you run into a buzzsaw that is Madison here this evening. Most goals they've conceded, Chattanooga, in quite some time. Carmichael, this is Hakeem Karamoko, played a critical role in the 5th goal. He is fouled. It will be a free kick to the Mingos. It's the most goals that we've seen for Madison pounded in a fair bit. Did find 5 against AC Boise earlier in the year. So it matches their all-time League One high. easy result, actually the most that they've produced since that Duluth victory. Kanyane. Karamoko heads back across the face. McCamey. Overzealous attempt to keep possession afloat by Karamoko. He is an interesting prospect for Ford Madison, joining on loan from DC United. The 20-year-old was picked 10th overall in the 2025 MLS Super Draft, but dealt with a pretty long-term knee injury during his first professional season. So in many ways, this is an opportunity for him to revitalize his career. He has done so quite effectively. A pair of goals to his name in league play already. Also scored that dramatic late winner in their Prince Cup finale against Union Omaha a couple weeks back in the Bird Battle. As a player, Matt Glazer says, at this point, it's just about getting him back up to full match fitness. In the professional game and in the modern professional game, pro football is high-intensity running, and it's something you have to sustain over long periods of time. And that's ultimately the biggest challenge Karamoko's battling as he gets back to full match fitness. But he has a profile that is really attractive for any team across the professional soccer spectrum in the United States. He has shown some of those tools already in his short time with the Minkos. So this is what that sounds against substitute Omar Gomez. Well, Van Smart Design, everyday comfort, fun to drive at a price that makes sense at Zimbrick Volkswagen in Middleton. Pedro Hernandez just towards Lombardi. Bentley sprinting onto the end of it. Now he clips it in, but it's right at Shannon. It's now for Wessels. Inside the final 15 minutes now for Bree Stevens Field. Bentley's cross. Falls for Omar Hernandez. Karamoko doing his defensive duties and winning the foul. As we've already mentioned, Ford Madison has matched its all-time high for goals in a USL League One match. It's a record they set in the 5-1 throttling of AC Boise on June 13th. Not a part of this unbeaten run. In fact, it is the result that kick-started this unbeaten run, which will move to 8 matches across all competitions, assuming they avoid a major collapse. It would also be a monster accomplishment because it would be a 6th league victory in the last 7 games, one of the better runs in club history. It would come against a squad that previously was in the form of its season with 6 wins in its previous 7 league games. Any way you slice it, any way you spin it, this is a statement performance from a Madison side that may start to think about title aspirations. Hernandez. Chattanooga is readying 2 changes. And Wessels is one of the 2 who will make way. Bentley. Cleared by Kanyane. They'll come back to that earlier challenge. Hearing word that Wyman Wessels and Omar Hernandez will be the 2 to exit. These will Papa Mensah, as well as Ito Apolinar, are set to enter. So it is Apolinar who made his League One debut on Saturday in the final 5 minutes against One Knoxville, the product of San Diego State University, and Ropapa Mensah, something of a goal-scoring specialist during his first stint with Chattanooga Red Wolves, and now back with the club this year as he trots on to the pitch. A return from a minor knock as well, so good to see him back out there. So Mensah and Apolinar in for Wessels and Omar Hernandez. Meanwhile, Mark Segbers is warming up for Ford Madison, waiting to be waved on. Zegbers himself, a veteran with years of USL Championship experience. He will replace Ramon Torres, who exits to a deserved applause. A goal and an assist to his name here this evening. They've had to be careful with Mark Zegbers' minutes this season. Someone who struggled with injury a fair bit during the tail end of his 2025 season with Charleston Battery, but at full fitness, he is a real versatile menace that can play anywhere from wing back to the heart of midfield. He's been deployed more in the center of the park under Matt Glazer in his first campaign with Madison. Corner here for Chattanooga, and Pedro Hernandez will take. Floats it into the heart of the area. There was a touch from Kinsner, but it's given away. And Carmichael charging ahead. The last thing Chattanooga wants to see, but a heavy touch. Took it right towards Leilin. Cami, though, first to it. Madison has seemingly won every first, second ball and every duel of note tonight. Munjoma. Carmichael. Toure. It was his equalizer that kick-started this come-from-behind rout. Zegbers. Inside the final 10 minutes now for Madison. It's more of a question of how many goals the Mingos will pound in at this point. Karamoko. He fouls Leilin to the surprise of the flock end. Well, fans, can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XMFC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more on Sirius XMFC 157 and the Sirius XM app. For those just flipping the match on, we welcome you to Breese Stevens Field, where it has been a thriller. At one point, Madison trailed by a 2-1 scoreline. They've put Chattanooga to the sword since. Ramos, his cross is appetizing. It is scrambled away by Zegbers, though. The headliner, of course, tonight, Ryan Carmichael, a hat trick, a first half brace that he capped off with a penalty just under 20 minutes after the second half restart. First professional hat trick for him since being drafted in the first round of the MLS Super Draft 2 years ago. Now Munjoma. Carmichael. Karamoko never reached him. Hernandez. Can't find Bentley. This is Kanyane. McCamey, typically a starter in the heart of defense. Tonight, got a breather, and other than them conceding 2 goals, didn't really affect them all that negatively on the result front. He's still a very important piece of this back line, though. Toure. When you look ahead for Forward Madison, it obviously sets the stage rather nicely for a weekend date against a Westchester side that has leaked goals away from home, given the performance they'll be coming off the back of, maybe licking their chops ahead of that fixture in a few nights' time. Joma. Word that Ryan Carmichael will finally receive his curtain call at the next possible opportunity. Claudel Ngubu set to return from injury and replace him. This given away to Mensah. His first proper touch of it in attacking position. Apollinaire, Leline. Back for Apollinaire. Gomez. Leline. Floats this in. Cagnane first to it. As far as Ramos, though. Ramos. This is one of the longer spells of possession we've seen from Chattanooga this evening. Shannon intervenes. It will be a corner, though. Just Chattanooga's 5th of the night. Ron Lombardi's first crack at set-piece duties. Curling to the back post, punched by Harms. Towers above everyone to get there. And Cagnane wins that battle. Of all the teams who would have a hard time winning duels to this degree against, it would be Chattanooga, and that's what makes this performance that much more impressive. And it is time for a well-deserved curtain call for Madison's number 9. Ryan Carmichael, his first professional hat trick, is what currently separates the sides on the score sheet. And he is serenaded by the flock end. A career night for a player in a career vein of form. And Claudel Ngubu replaces him. On the other end, Matt Bentley exits the action. He's one of 2 goal scorers. James Vaughn returns from an absence of his own to fill the void. At this point, Scott McKenzie may sense that the match is lost, bringing on off an attacking player for a deeper lying one, as those changes are presented by Festival Foods. Ramos, out of real estate on the near side. Karamoko is in behind here. Karamoko drove it across the face, but ultimately too far wide. Quick restart here. Chattanooga falls asleep, uncharacteristically so. Hakeem Karamoko just wins that foot race with James Vaughn, the substitute. It's a tight angle. It was always going to be hard to pick out the far corner, but it was one for the cameras, that. Well, fans, you can watch the USL on ESPN2 August 1st for a championship battle of powerhouse teams from the Eastern Conference. First place Tampa Bay Rowdies aim to keep the top spot with a win over the reigning Players' Shield winners Louisville City FC. Saturday, August 1st at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Here's the first touch for Vaughn, a former Richmond kicker who signed with Chattanooga this winter. Toure is looking for Karamoko, who does get there. Hakeem Karamoko is through on goal, and he's skied it. It was a golden chance for a 6th, but he can't get his angles right on that occasion. It's a question of whether or not Jason Smith had any role in this. Karamoko was through. It doesn't appear it took a touch off Smith, or if it did, it was the slightest of touches. Either way, could have been the exclamation point to round things out. You can watch the USL Championship in League One on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network. Go to uslchampionship.com or uslleague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Edwards. Ngubu substitutes first touch in his return from a brief injury absence. Was starting to find his shooting boots prior to that little knock that cost him a decent bit of time. It is Ngubu's first appearance, at least for an extended period of time. Did play the final 15 minutes Saturday. Had missed 3 prior matches before that. He's continuing to return from that knock. Vaughn. Ngubu. Lean. Pedro Hernandez. Final minute of the initial 90. Lean. Step for step by Kanyane. Vaughn has a crack. Took an awkward deflection, but Harms watched it go wide. James Vaughn isn't necessarily known for his impact going forward. That by no means a bad effort, and it did at least send Harms on his horse. The fourth official has indicated it's now time for Just Coffee Cooperative stoppage time. It is 3 minutes that separate us from full time here at Madtown. It has been a madness of goals for the home side. Pedro Hernandez, deflected cross, headed back to Harms.
There will be at least 3 minutes of stoppage time. 3 minutes.
It's all popping off now. Lombardi getting into it with Harms and a few other Madison players. Some unnecessary extracurriculars here in the dying embers.
For your chance to win your favorite FMFC kit, $100 in rewards play, and $50 in food and beverage credit. We need more with Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Another look. See, ultimately, Kanyane is just waiting for Harms to pick it up, and it's unnecessary for Marone Lombardi, who just shoves Kanyane. Harms jawing with him, and from there, it all pops off. It's a petulant reaction from a number of individuals, and Lombardi clearly frustrated with the manner in which the second half has unfolded. All in all, though, not much in that. Yellow card given to Arone Lombardi. Well, fans, it's winning time presented by Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Scan the QR code on your screen or visit FordMadisonFC.com/winning-time for your chance to win your favorite Ford Madison FC kit, $100 in rewards play, and $50 in food and beverage credit redeemable at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. One lucky winner will be chosen on the Monday after tonight's match. Final minute of the added 3 here in Madison, Wisconsin. And another yellow card was shown. It is JT Harms who enters the book. Ngubu. And Wole dispossesses him. And is fouled in the process. One final yellow card brandished for good measure. Sekbers and Ngubu both in the mix there. This ultimately the final sojourn forward for Chattanooga. A night where they had a 2-1 advantage, and it all crumbled in devastating fashion. When it rains, it pours. It's been a full thunderstorm of goals here in Madison for the home side. Ramos is likely their last chance.
Yellow card infraction, forward Madison. It's stoppage time. Number 8, Mark Seckers. Number 8.
And that is the full-time whistle. What a night in Madison. What a second half in particular. The Mingos throttle Chattanooga Red Wolves and keep their flying vein of form going. 6 wins in the last 7 league games, and Ryan Carmichael, the standout performer, with a hat trick. He is our man of the match, presented by Bayer Insurance. A trio of tallies which makes the ultimate difference on the score sheet. And Ryan Carmichael, who entered the night in the form of his career, produces the performance of his young career. He is the primary catalyst for one of the statement wins on Madison's calendar. That is where things finish here in Madison. We will take a quick breather in a matter of moments from Breese Stevens Field, and when we return, a look back at a crazy night that was in Madtown. It finishes 5-2. Stick with us. Full-time highlights and analysis next.
Welcome to Madison, Wisconsin, home of Just Coffee, a worker cooperative roasting fresh, quality, 100% fair trade coffee for over 20 years. We work with farmers from grower co-ops all over the world to support their communities as well as ours. Experience the fair trade difference yourself. Just Coffee. We do justice from the grounds up.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget. And 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
We welcome you back to Madison. We're at full-time, presented by Rhyme. Forward Madison enjoys one of its most prolific nights going forward in club history. They matched their all-time high for goals in a match in USL League One play with this 5-2 obliteration of Chattanooga Red Wolves. Well, it's time now for our full-time highlights presented by the Just Coffee Cooperative. A 7-goal explosion on this Wednesday night fixture. You see here it got started early and often. Kevin Carmichael linking well with Jackson Castro, and then he picks out Ryan Carmichael, the Carmichael connection, to open the scoring after just 7 minutes. That the breakout moment that opened this absolute thunder rod of goals over the remaining 90. Then 14 minutes, you saw the equalizer from Toby Adewole, a bashed effort out of thin air. Resembled the header, but it was not. Came off the boots of Adewole and in to the top left corner as he leveled the scoreline. And Chattanooga would actually flip the script 18 minutes later. Matt Bentley pulling the Red Wolves in front. It's off of a scintillating ball from Omar Hernandez that just beats everyone at the back post. It's perfectly into the path of Bentley. A world-class service from Omar Hernandez, and Bentley converts. And it looks like maybe Chattanooga would pull off yet another major result. But 3 minutes later, the lead would disintegrate into thin air because Kerfala Toure, after the chaos following this set piece, would get on the end of this. It was a clever back heel from Josh Bolma to set him up, and Toure had a free runway at it, clattered it in, and there was no chance for Jason Smith. Even him getting there, there's just too much power on it for him to keep it out. And then, following that, on the stroke of halftime, our play of the match, which is brought to you by Dairyland Insurance. It is Carmichael's second of 3 tallies. A perfectly placed ball, a towering header, and just before halftime, Carmichael pushing the Mingos in front. They flipped the script from 2-1 down to 3-2 up. It looked like we would be in for a back and forth affair, but then after the restart, Forward Madison would ultimately close the book on their visitors. 10 minutes after the restart, a chance for Genny Kanyane, and it's a tremendous save presented by the Johnson Financial Group. That's our save of the match, and it's made by the goalkeeper of Chattanooga Red Wolves, Jason Smith, because JT Harms did not have many stops to make on the evening. 7 minutes later, a penalty. It's a through ball from Ryan Carmichael. Josh Bulma shoved down in the penalty area, and that set up Carmichael from 12 yards, and he laced it into the top left corner. Again, Smith guesses the right way, but there's no getting there. That made it 4-2. The layer of insurance Madison had so desperately coveted shortly after the hour mark, and moments later, a fifth. Hakeem Carmichael fresh onto the field, forcing a save out of Smith. It's not cleared properly, and after the ensuing bedlam in the box, they leave it for Ramon Torres, who bounces it off of the right post and into the net. That's the 5th goal that wrapped things up for Madison and matched their all-time high for goals in a USL League One match that was set on June 13th against AC Boise. That a 5-1 triumph over Boise, this a 5-2 triumph over Chattanooga Red Wolves. In terms of our full-time stats presented by Rhyme, they do tell the full story. 65% of the ball for Madison, even with Chattanooga having a slightly larger share of the possession in the second. Madison still dominated the day, and look how efficient they were. 10 of their 18 shots on frame, and half of those 10 shots on target finding the back of the net. A tremendous attacking performance, one of the league's more efficient attacking outputs, continuing that trend and matching their league high, their season high for goals. Well, that is where things finish here in Madtown. It is a statement performance from Forward Madison. They fall behind 2-1. They flip the script to win 5-2. For our terrific broadcast crew, I'm Sam Goldfarb, saying so long from Madison, where the Mingos notch a 6th win in the last 7 league matches to soar into the top 4. Have a great rest of your night, everyone.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.